Hi everyone, welcome to Yoga with Cassandra, and today our practice will be geared towards golfers, and this is the perfect practice to do before you start playing golf. It'll help you open up through the shoulders and get mobility through the hips, as well as develop your twists for your swing. So let's begin in puppy pose. You'll need to walk your palms forward on an all-fours stance so that your hips stay over your knees, and then you're melting your heart and chest down towards the ground. Your forehead might touch the mat or it might not, in which case you can always put a block underneath you for more support. Keep your palms pressing down into the mat. You should feel a little bit of an opening through the shoulders, armpits, and into the sides of the chest. See if you can breathe into that area, taking deep breaths in and out through the nose. And breathing in a way where you can feel the upper ribs expand from side to side and front to back. Try not to let the lower back curve. Engage the core just a little bit here. Let's ease our way out of the pose onto all fours, hands and knees. And then reach your right leg back, press into your right heel, and stretch the calf and ankle. Switching sides, right knee in, left leg out. Come back to tabletop. Take a low lunge, stepping your right foot forward in between your palms, knee over the ankle, sink the hips down low, and then reach your arms up high. We'll open up the shoulders. Reach your right arm underneath your left, binding once or twice. Eagle arm variation. Lift the elbows up high, and then start to drop your chin in towards the chest, pressing your forearms against each other so that you get an opening at the upper back. Keep your shoulders away from the ears. Hips are still sinking down low. And then inhale, lift your elbows up as high as you can, a little bit of a back bend. Release your palms back down onto the mat. Find your high plank pose. Stepping your right foot back, inner thighs squeeze in towards each other, heart reaches forward, palms underneath the shoulders. Strong, deep belly breaths as you engage your core, tailbone pointing towards the heels. Take another inhale here. And lower your knees down. Step your left foot forward in between your hands. Low lunge on the second side. Reaching your arms up. Eagle arms on the second side. So this time your left arm goes underneath the right, binding once or binding twice at the wrists as well. Roll your shoulders down. Elbows stay lifted and start to drop your chin towards the chest. Getting a deep opening through the front of your right hip. Make sure your left knee isn't going past your ankle. Reach your elbows up as high as you can, lifting the collarbones and chest up towards the sky. Set your palms back down, find your plank pose, but from here we're going to lower down onto our forearms, so forearm plank. Keep the elbows about shoulder width distance apart, one long line from the crown of your head all the way down into the heels. Keep pressing into your heels. Lower abdominals hug in and lift. Strong through the shoulders. Drop your hips down onto the mat. Find a back bend in Sphinx pose. So reaching your chest forward, pulling your shoulders back, and getting a nice lift as you keep your hips on the ground. And we'll open up the chest and shoulders even more with one of my favorite chest openers. So you just need to roll onto your left hip and bend your arm, left arm, at a 90-degree angle so that your left fingertips point up. And as you roll onto your left hip, you're using your right hand to press into the ground to roll your right shoulder back. You should be feeling a pretty good stretch to the left side of your body, from the pectoral into the shoulder and maybe all the way down into the bicep. And release onto your belly, turning over to the second side, so your right elbow bent at a 90-degree angle. Roll onto your right hip and right shoulder and use your left hand to press into the ground as you roll that left shoulder back. See if you can keep your neck relaxed here, no need for tension in the neck or shoulders. Make this pose as passive as you can. Coming back through to center, palms underneath your shoulders. Press back up, find your downward facing dog. So palms are shoulder width distance apart, feet are hip width distance apart. Curling your tailbone up towards the sky, pressing your chest towards your thighs, relax your neck, let your head be heavy, and you bend your knees as much as you need to here. So if your hamstrings are really tight, bend them quite generously. Over time, the heels will start to lower down a little bit closer towards your mat, but don't worry about it just yet. Reach your right leg up towards the sky, bend your right knee and open up that hip. You're trying to get your right knee to be the highest point here, flexing through the toes. And set your right foot forward in between your palms, finding your high lunge as you reach both arms up. So you're bending into your right knee. Feet are hip width distance apart. Start to bring your hands at your heart and take a twist. Left elbow over your right thigh. Pressing your palms together firmly, roll your right shoulder back. Keep your hips sinking down low. And see if you can lift your belly off of the thigh. So you really need to engage your obliques in this pose. Maintain length in the neck, shoulders away from the ears. Back knee stays lifted. Start to look down, drop your left hand down onto the mat and reach your right arm up. So a little more of a passive twist. Keep that right knee hugging in, don't let it open up too much, and look up only if it feels good for your neck. Drop your right hand down and find your downward dog. And let's go do that same thing on the second side. So reach your left leg up towards the sky, bend your left knee and open up that hip. Spreading the toes, try to keep your left shoulder pressing down. Let this be for the lower body only. Straighten and square your left leg and step your left foot forward to the top of the mat. High lunge as you reach both arms up, sinking your hips down low, trying to get your left thigh parallel to the ground. Bring your hands at your heart and take a twist, right elbow over your left thigh. And really pressing your palms together so firmly that they're almost going to come to the center of your chest as you roll both shoulders back and look up only if it's comfortable. Pressing into your back heel, lifting the belly off the thigh, reaching the crown of the head forward. Drop your right hand down, left arm up. Just another variation of the twist. Keep pulling lower abdominals in. Drop your palm down onto the mat, find your downward facing dog. Look forward to the top of the mat and step or hop both feet in between your palms. Roll all the way up to stand, shoulders down and away from the ears. And step your feet wide apart, about 3 or 4 feet or so. Turn your heels in, toes out. Bend your knees, drop your hips, and keep your palms on your upper thighs. And you can sway a little bit from side to side. Drop your right shoulder down as you roll your left shoulder back, taking a twist. And press the knees open, getting deep into the adductors. Switch sides, drop your left shoulder down, roll your right shoulder back. Maybe lifting and spreading all 10 toes, come back through to center. Straighten your legs, turn your toes in so feet are parallel to the short edges of your mat. Clasp your hands behind you and fold all the way down. So palms reach up and over. If you can't quite grab a hold of your hands here, you can always use a strap or hold on to opposite elbows. Really important to keep the neck relaxed here. And just opening even deeper into the shoulders and into the chest, pressing into both feet evenly. Reach a little bit more. And let's release our fingertips down onto the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Bring your hands onto your waist, come all the way up and stand to the top of the mat. Taking a chair pose, big toes come to touch, heels are an inch or so apart. Bend your knees, sink your hips. Keep your chest lifted, hands at the heart. And then lower all the way down, finding your boat pose so that your hips come down onto the mat and then you lift your legs up as high as you can. Keep your chest lifted, arms reaching forward, engaging the core, pulling the lower abdominals in, trying not to hold the breath, and let it go. Let's take a seated twist. Bring your right knee in towards your chest, cross your right foot over your left thigh, right fingertips behind you. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale to twist, left elbow to the inside of that right leg. Roll your right shoulder back and maybe look over that right shoulder. Stay really tall through the spine here. Crown of the head reaches up. Sits bones stay grounded. Release, come back to center. Bring your right foot to the inside of your left thigh. Getting into the hamstrings, inhale, reach your arms up, and exhale, fold. Let the upper body be really soft. You can always bend your knees a little bit if you need to. And roll back up. Let's switch sides. So pull your left knee in and then cross your left foot over your right thigh. Reach your left fingertips behind you. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, right elbow to the inside of your thigh crease to twist. Keep reaching the collarbones up high. Try not to contract or collapse. Lower abdominals hug in to help you twist a little bit deeper. Release through to center and find your fold, left foot to the inside of your right leg. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, soften forward, hinging at the hips. Start to walk your palms back in, lift yourself up, and go ahead and lie all the way down onto your back. Keep your knees bent, feet flat on the mat, getting into the hips one last time. Cross your right ankle over the top of your left thigh, and start to draw your left knee in towards your chest. Reclined pigeon pose. Try to relax the shoulders and neck, only using a little bit of strength here. Release and switch sides. Left ankle over the top of your right thigh. Pull your right knee into the chest. Maybe drawing in a tiny bit closer, your last 2 deep breaths here. Deep into the belly. And when you're ready, release, making your way into Shavasana, our final resting pose, straightening out the arms and legs, palms facing up, and give yourself a few minutes to just relax, restore, and integrate all the elements of your practice, observing how your hips and shoulders feel, allowing the eyes to close, and coming back to whatever breath is natural to you. And this is where I'll leave you, so when you are ready to get up and out of this pose, I hope that you'll do so mindfully and slowly. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and please remember to subscribe to my channel. Thank you again. Namaste.